And it says we are live. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim.
Hi, folks. I'm Chris. Good to see you, or be seen by you, or something.
Yeah, we are. We're excited to be here. We're excited to do this. To only take a small half hour of your time. Just that's only a half hour, because who wants to sit through a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hour webinar? None of us do. We don't have time. We won't remember it. But if we could
I'm
just
not
give you,
interested.
yeah, no, thank you. But if we could just give you maybe just a half hour or less, just a little tidbit, little nuggets that you could take, put in your toolbox to help you teach math remotely more effectively, engage your students more, then that's why we are here. We're excited to do that. And unfortunately, Alice couldn't make it today. So Chris and I are going to kind of go back and forth there to talk about GeoGebra. What is it, and how in the world can I start using GeoGebra to help my students learn math in remote settings? I mean, that's the key thing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, GeoGebra is not the only solution. Okay, there's a lot of other great math ed tech apps out there. Okay, so we're not saying GeoGebra only and nothing else. No, but we're going to explore GeoGebra for the next couple of weeks for a half hour a day, pick up a little bit every single time. So yeah, so let's actually go to GeoGebra. But go ahead.
Can I ask you a question, Tim?
Go for it.
Just for me. So, what sort of teachers might make good use of GeoGebra? Do you have to be a high school math teacher teaching geometry or above to make good use of GeoGebra?
Not at all. GeoGebra is for all levels of education, K through 6, middle school, 6 to 8, 9 to 12, and I've seen mathematicians and researchers use it for, doctorate, postdoc research. It's used all throughout all grade levels and areas of expertise. It's pretty amazing what it can do.
Really? So I could work with elementary teachers in helping them get across number concepts in early grades. Is that
absolutely
yeah?
Yes? And there's a lot of resources out there. But let's actually take a quick peek. Now that you asked, let's take a quick peek at GeoGebra right here.
I guess.
Yeah, well, it starts. Oh, got the fractal thing going on. Let's go to GeoGebra's main page right here. Yeah, so their main page, it's www.geogebra.org. That is their homepage, and it's right here. Now, I don't know about you, Chris, but yeah, when a lot of people go here, it's almost like, oh my gosh, I'm drinking out of a fire hose here that's like shoving out maybe 20 gallons a second here, right? There is a lot to digest. There's a lot to take in here. And, Rome was not built in a day. We're not going to learn it all in a half hour or even in 2 weeks, but we're going to take little bits and just to see where things are, what we can do, and using GeoGebra as a means to actively engage our students in learning math concepts more effectively, and especially in a remote setting, remote learning.
Oh, excellent.
So right here is yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's just you're right. It's clearly a well-developed website. It's, anytime you've got a side panel with lots of options, and then the main page that's scrollable, but also has a ton of options, you might be a little inundated. You might feel like you're overwhelmed by information. So this would be great. Thanks for giving us a quick little pickup on it.
Well, my pleasure. And now GeoGebra, if you think it really consists of, to simplify it, there's really two main components here. Okay, well, first of all, what is GeoGebra? GeoGebra is the world's leading dynamic mathematics math ed tech company. I would say that they have lots of apps that you can use to engage your students with learning mathematics. And in addition, they have their resources collection. When I go to resources, say right over here, okay, in the side tab there, if I go to resources and click on that, you will see like literally a lot of different topics you can check out and explore, from geometry, say, to functions. Let's scroll down a bit and see what the heck we have here. Algebra, trig, prob and stats. There we go, right?
Amazing.
Calc, elementary school, middle school.
Nice.
And also college level and beyond. So again, these are resources that have been created by many teachers all over the world, and you can really think of the resources part of GeoGebra as the YouTube of math apps of collection here. Now, just think about what happens when you go to YouTube, right? With YouTube, you find some videos that are great, and you find some videos that are kind of, you know what I mean? I would say it's
Yes.
the same here. Now, GeoGebra's had a team of volunteers over the last couple of years. They've gone through over 20,000 resources and even more, probably way more than that. And they try to filter off and they tag one so that when you search a particular topic here, let's say I want to search something on, I don't know, Chris, give me something.
Oh gosh, you're throwing me into the.
Hey.
Hey, let's talk about. Well, it's I think of GeoGebra because of the first part of the name being geometry. Let's think of something in geometry. How about can you do something in GeoGebra that does transformations, like an 8th grade sort of transformation
Let's check it out.
approach?
I have no clue what's going to come up. Got a lot of things here. Now, and a lot of resources that do show up. I mean, I know I'm using this as not when you're signed in as yourself, you see a lot more stuff. If you have some personal stuff, that comes up first. But again, there's a lot of cool things here. Some of these are older, some of them are like newer. Like you said something about transformations. Now, right here, we can go look through some of these.
Yeah,
now, I personally have a whole. Yeah, go ahead.
Like a sliding, a translation of a shape, or
Sure. Let's check this out.
Yeah, why is Lisa upside down there?
Yeah, she's upside down here. Again, this I actually I didn't know that this was going to come up first, but I actually ended up making this one. But more so, again, I don't like to actually give kids pre-made things, contrary to what some people believe. But I like to actually have kids build something like this. Like next week, we'll learn how to actually have a student take an image. You could drag it in an app, the geometry app, say you can make a vector and quickly translate it, right? So right here is a resource. If you're a geometry teacher, say 8th grade or maybe high school, but there's a lot of things that are pre-made here in advance that you could actually you can use to engage your students in a virtual class. For now, here we're studying translations, right? And so we think, well, gosh, you know what? And we have a vector here because we translate by a vector, say, but
oh, I see.
So we actually have students make connections. Like as a teacher, what could we possibly be asking students? Instead of us telling them everything, well, what if Mona has, say 1, -2 and 4, -4 are the pre-images. And after we translate Mona by the vector -3, 6, gosh, you know what the images, whatever this is here, there are the images. So do you see any relationship, any connection? Now you can ask students that via Google form, via Google Slide, or even in GeoGebra. We'll show you that much later on. But the possibilities are endless here. But this is just an exploratory resource or something that students can go back to, like to start. Like here we can rotate to tip the popular center rotation 0, 0, I think. But what teachers will tell me, well, the most popular rotation angles are 90, right, about the origins. So let me just go ahead and make that a 90 there, right? So just having students basically gather data and analyze that data. Gosh, when I take the point 2, -1 and rotate it 90 degrees, I notice I get the image 1, 2, right?
Interesting, yeah.
And this point right here, well, just when you rotate it 90 about the origin, it goes to 4, 4. So ask students, maybe you can ask the whole class just 3 simple questions. If you're studying rotations, pick 2 points for the initial and for the base of Mona's picture there, right? And basically under 90 degrees, what were your images? Gather the data, and then, hey, what do you notice? What do you wonder? So instead of you telling them the rule, oh, it's -y, x, you can have the student tell you. See, GeoGebra, what the thing I love about GeoGebra is it's so pedagogically speaking, is that it engages the students. The students have to basically play and just mess around. Now, this is very structured play. I don't like to make it this structured. This to me is like kind of a little too rigid. But again, we could talk about reflections. We could talk about all sorts of things. You could play with this to your heart's content, right? We could take Lisa and do what we want to do with her here. And we could dilate her and so on and so forth. We're just barely scratching the surface. Again, normally I'd have kids do this in the app. But again, if you're desperate and stuck for time, there's no reason why you can't use something that's pre-made and have students make conjectures and test those conjectures with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
Thanks. And so another typical resource I love here, I love showing these off, is with the Pythagorean theorem.
Oh yeah, that kind of comes up once in a while in math classes, doesn't
almost in every grade, right? Steve Phelps.
Like
Steve Phelps is a GeoGebra master. He's a GeoGebra master here, and
I've seen his work. It's amazing.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Hang on a second. I have 1 second. I just lost the stream right here. There's Alice. She just called me. I am so sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey,
sorry
Alice.
about that. It took a phone call because when I'm screen sharing, I can't see the StreamYard thing. I'm sorry, Alex.
What was going on? Oh my god!
Yeah.
And at the hotel, like insisted to like check me in. I'm like, just can I go in a corner?
Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I apologize. I'm glad you called. As soon as I saw the thing there, I'm like, oh, she's probably trying to get in. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, welcome. All right. So let's go back to screen sharing here, and go back to where we were. So. I love these proofs that Steve Phelps has made. They're really dynamic illustrations without words, really, where you have students, just to have students play, for example, here, right? If you're teaching remotely, and the Pythagorean theorem is something that, oh crap, they forgot it, but I got to reteach it to them again. Some teachers are like, or other teachers are like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this for the first time, like 4th, 5th, 6th grade.
For younger grades.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of having your students just, giving them the link to this and just have them play with it and like, tell me what you see. Kids will get a lot more out of that in like a 20 minutes with you trying to put it in their own words versus you lecturing, chalking and talking it on some kind of virtual whiteboard.
So one of my favorite quotes from YouCubed is that math is about pattern finding. And that's just like so different from how I was taught math and, my early approaches and training in my math courses, getting my math degree. And so I literally write that down on a Post-it note every time I write my lesson plans to remind myself, what patterns are kids finding? What observations are they making? It should be about them thinking, not me doing the thinking for them. It's tough. So I got to keep reminding myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, this is a great dynamic. Again, it's not a proof, but it's a great dynamic illustration of, wow, again, we have a right triangle here and we have squares built off it. And gosh, the two smaller squares always fit inside the biggest one, no matter what the triangle looks like. It's a right angle. And so, there's lots of elements here that you could take. Some are, simpler. There's some are more complicated. Some are simpler. But the point is, every single one of these, right, just by playing, the next day you go here, what do you notice? What do you wonder? Oh my gosh, actively engaging your students. Now later on next week, when Alice and I are doing this, we'll show you how to copy this thing and add your own questions to it and maybe put it in Google Class. Again, that's for later. We're not going to do it all in a day. But again, just to show you what GeoGebra has out there, a lot of stuff to engage your students. So if you go to classroom resources, that's where it's at in terms of finding things that are made.
Best places to start is just finding some things that already exist. Like, you don't need to make anything. And starting the year off with, we explore, we make observations is a great way to engage students.
Absolutely.
So this is those resources are thoroughly searchable. If I have an idea I'm interested in teaching, I could literally just search for it in that search bar, just like I would on any other, like a Google search.
Probability. Let's see.
Oh, that's a great one.
A lot of cool stuff. Steve Phelps also has a lot of great probability things. Yeah, sure. There's digital spinners. There's all sorts of things here. It's cool, right? But the thing is, it's like there's a lot of things that you could just go and mess with. Now,
like, I see the coin there. Can you find one that's like collecting money, like a manipulative for money, or is that just for the probability?
Yeah, there's money. I know I've seen it here before, but say money. Let's see, type money, cash register, right? John Albright's another great power author. So look at this, for example, right? We have nickels, dimes, coins. So let's show the total, right? I think if I go here, the max start, whatever this is, but if I take, this top cost 58 cents. Drag coins on the cash register to pay for it. All right, so, now you can actually take this and assign this as a task. You can actually see your kids dragging these things in real time. Like by Friday, you'll be able to watch all the kids working on this.
How can I see them drag it in real time?
That's going to come on Friday. Okay.
Feature on Friday?
On Friday, yep. That's going to be the Friday. So we can do
Got to do previews of coming attractions. Give him
Exactly.
room here.
Hey.
They, you know, should they have the students when they do the GeoGebra? Should they have them turn in a screenshot?
For now, that would be great. Yes, but but by Friday, you won't even need to. I mean, turning in screenshots are still cool, but when you can actually go, like in Google Classroom, and when you go back and see the student work and it's dynamic, I can actually take this and assign it in Google Classroom too, which I'll show you how to do. I think next Monday.
They were not a Google Classroom user, and they wanted to know if even with the way to sign up, you know, with the link where the students have their copy and they're interacting with it, you know, should they still turn in a screenshot? And I said yes. I mean, I personally like it's a lot faster for me to just be able to see all the screenshots really quick, and I like that I can go to their full GeoGebra and things, but sometimes, you know, that's it. I just want to look and see how it's going, what they've got. A lot of times I can get it from there. So just out of habit, I'd like them to submit a screenshot.
Yeah, so I just took that screenshot and then I could send it to you on whatever LMS that we have. That doesn't matter. But you say like have the students work on 4 of these maybe. Great, you can do that. They can do that, and you know what I mean? So again, the point here is that we're all exploring. It's like, you know what? With GeoGebra, again, when we go to resources, not so much apps. We'll talk about apps later. You can actually steal ready to use resources from right here. Elementary, there are links to over 300 here. Middle school, 500 plus. High school, there's a lot more of, but again, and some distance learning webinars and stuff. But again, let me go. I want to bring you to another one here that I absolutely love with percents, because students often struggle with that year after year after year. I always love showing this one off. It's under percent change. Just take a look at this dynamic interactive here. This was created by Anthony Orr. He lives in Hong Kong. He is a GeoGebra master author. He's unbelievable. But this is free for the taking in public. Look at this. You can actually take this, mess with this, talk about, you know, with the tape diagrams when kids actually, you know, set up things. You know, we talk about the part, the whole. You can actually fill this in. So basically, you have a problem where you have to figure out either the part, the whole, or the percent, the basic stuff. Well, have the students actually type in the data they know, you know, and actually see. Maybe not so much here yet, but just giving the students the exercise to model this out virtually. That is so within reach. Even if you're tech anxious, you can actually go here and have kids literally do just that. And as Alice said, for now, let them take a screenshot. You know,
even when the other one comes out, I still want the screenshot just because there's a lot of good reasons. You know, what I really like about the GeoGebra is, as you had pulled this up, there was multiple ways that they could look at percentages. And to me, that's really one of the most important things as we move into remote learning, as we make a habit of looking at things visually. What's another way we can look at this? What's another way to write it? To be concerned about the number sense and not what photomath can do.
Right.
Right. It's also possible they could create with practice, a student could put together a short video, not just a screenshot, but a screencast, right? And talk over it to tell me what it is they're, not just show me what they've accomplished, but tell me how they got there.
New feature in Flipgrid now has screencasting. So I think that it's going to be a classroom staple, I hope.
That is cool. And actually, I can say I don't want to go too far ahead, because again, you can only do a half hour's worth in today. But I can say that GeoGebra has a great app here. Again, this is an app called GeoGebra Notes right here, which is like the beautiful math analog of Google Slides. Like literally, you see I got my slides here. I can make a new slide, put it here. But the thing is, I can go here, for example, and I can insert literally a graphing calculator here. I can graph stuff on here, and not only that, I can actually insert pictures. So Alice, as you said, if I take a screenshot, I could actually go, I can't see because the StreamYard thing.
Screenshot's not the thing that's most important to me.
No.
The explanation. So my kind of go-to is in Google Classroom. I love the private comments.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have Google Classroom, you can do it with a Google form, or they could even just write on a Word document. But I want them to always explain. So with the screenshots, they put them in there. And then what's your strategy? And I want to see the stuff that didn't go right. I don't want their end product as what I want them to submit. I'm like, what did you try? Why did that work or not work?
Tell me a story. Tell me a story. Right? I had two questions for you, Tim.
Sure.
One was, is it possible for me as a teacher to provide slide by slide feedback to students in GeoGebra Notes? And what does it take for me to get? Can anybody have an account?
Absolutely. I'll answer your second question first, and then I'll answer your first question after. Anybody could create a GeoGebra account. In fact, that's the one objective that I had for today. Just create the account. Keep it
Amazing.
simple. So it's literally right here. Whoops, fractal. All right, so right up here, when you go to sign in, just sign in right there. And if you're brand new to GeoGebra, someone asked, is this a Google extension? No, GeoGebra is its own app. There's a Chrome extension for it, I think. But anyway, you could just go right here and just basically go to create account right here and sign up. If most of you, I'm assuming, are Google, but any one of these platforms would work. And that way, obviously, it's easy. You don't need a password. You can just sign in using your login that you're in the internet and the browser. Okay. So when you create an account, basically anything that you create, whether it's in an app or whether you make an activity, we're going to do all this in little chunks over the next few weeks. So rest assured, the only thing we have to do today is just make our account and explore. That's it. Okay. So
I did a screencast the other day, and I was doing it on a fake student account that I have, just so that I could get the full experience of logging in from scratch. And it took me seconds to make the account and get right into it.
Yep. So
Nice.
Yeah, I'm in my account right now, for example. And again, GeoGebra also has like people you could follow. I follow a lot of people. So when they create something, I get a little notification up here, like it's almost like a Facebook bell kind of thing. Well, it's like, okay, you know, that kind of thing. But the other thing is whenever someone creates something, it goes to my newsfeed. I don't check it that often, but it's kind of interesting to see like, oh, something catches my eye. That looks kind of pretty, but would I ever use it? I don't know, maybe. But the point is, it's a place where I know I have learned so much just from looking at what other people have done, you know, and it's a community of sharing. Ultimately, it really, really is. Again, the
Facebook group.
Yes, I will. I'll talk about that towards the end. But basically here, I would say if you're just new to GeoGebra, you make your account first, and all you got to do is just go ahead, find where you want to explore. Go any one of these three links right here. Any one of these will take you to some additional hyperlinks here, and you can go and explore something as, you know, from early on, the first elementary, kindergarten, first grade, you know, to whatever, college level. So yeah.
So Tim, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that was the second question. The first question, yeah.
Yeah. So to answer your question now, in terms of the private comments, like in Google Classroom, like kind of you and Alice were alluding to, right now, GeoGebra had an older interface called Groups where you could actually communicate back and forth with the student, but they're doing away with that because they have the new feature called Classroom, which allows teachers to see live work in real time, which I've tweeted about a lot. But the ability to communicate, GeoGebra is working on. It's not quite there yet, but that functionality, I am told, is coming. Okay.
Yeah.
So
great.
in terms of communicating with students, your best bet for now is to use either the Schoology or the Canvas or the whatever LMS that your school is currently using at the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to answer a question that's in the comments. Darcy wants to know what's the cost, and this one I have an answer for. It's free. GeoGebra is free to all users.
I have to make this disclaimer though. It is free if you have the device, but you're right. It's free because like people I've seen on Twitter, a lot of people make the arguments, oh, TI is bad and does GeoGebra. It's like, well, the thing is, nothing in life is really free. But we have to pay. We have to pay for this, and then the app is free. You know what I mean? But the school needs to pay for the Wi-Fi when kids are in the building. So there's always a cost somewhere. But would I say that GeoGebra is like faster than a lot of other older platforms? I would say sure. You know, and you can do a lot more with it. Sure. But in terms of having the device and the Wi-Fi paid for, then after that, yeah, it's definitely free.
But it does not pose any new cost to you.
No.
Or your school district. You don't have to go to your principal and ask for funds to buy a subscription. It's and all of those resources you were demonstrating plus more are available to anybody who has an account. Absolutely.
And talk about free. In addition, again, I'm not trying to put any sales pitch out here, but GeoGebra is all about, you know, providing the world with the best, what they want, the best tools for math and science out there, that even for high stakes assessment, like say state departments of education that want to integrate, if any state department of ed in the US wants to integrate a GeoGebra graphing calculator into their state digital testing API, you know, lock down everything, GeoGebra will do that free of charge. Even if the College Board wanted to integrate GeoGebra on some kind of digitalized test that they had, they wouldn't have to pay a dime. As long as it's for the purposes of assessment, it's free. You know, It's unbelievable. So yeah.
To answer Darcy's implied question, it's web based entirely. You can download an app, but you can run a Chromebook. You can run it on Chromebooks for
yeah, you can actually to answer that question fully. Yes, I mean, like the resources we looked at work best when they're opened in the apps online. However, if you download GeoGebra Geometry app or graphic calculator to this device here, you can actually open up a pre-made thing and have. I've had kids in iPad districts play with it here. We'll show you how to do that in another half-hour broadcast for sure. But you can open it on pretty much anything, you know, for sure. So what other questions do we have here?
Do you have any recommended starter videos for people? Which videos? It seems to me that the answer to that question really is, what level do you want to? Are you planning to apply GeoGebra to? Right? Because there's my answer to Jacqueline asked the question in the comments, and my actual response would be to stick around, come back every day at 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern, and the next several days are going to be really good introductions in how to get started, I think.
Yeah, baby steps, half hour every day. Again, the only objective today: create the account and start exploring stuff that really interests you. And you find stuff, bookmark it for now, and we'll show you how to organize it on your own profile page like tomorrow. Okay, and do stuff like that for sure.
Can you show the Facebook group?
Absolutely, yes. Thanks for reminding me. And in addition, we have GeoGebra has started a Facebook group. I'll share my screen right here. It's called Teachers Using GeoGebra, and it has the parentheses English here. Here it is. Okay, if you want to join this group, you're more than welcome. All we ask is you just basically agree to the rules and let us know where you teach, that kind of thing. But this is a place for, like I said, posing GeoGebra questions, sharing ideas, and using GeoGebra for teaching and learning. I mean, people have asked a lot of great questions here, just teachers interested. How do I do this? You know, when GeoGebra puts out a new post, you know, when a new release comes, it goes to the group here as well, that kind of thing. But it's this is it right here. And in fact, what I'll do is I will take that URL and I'll post it in the actual feeds that's going there. I think I could definitely do that for sure.
Facebook, in the upper left, it has the Facebook logo and the search. If you just type in teachers using GeoGebra, I found it super fast.
Yeah, I just posted it in the comments there too. But that's a great way to, you know, get started, just to see what's up, what's going on. GeoGebra has a Facebook page as well, Twitter, whatever. But again, there's a lot of great things going on in ed tech today, and it's not only at GeoGebra, but again, that's where we're putting our focus here. But I'm really excited to show you GeoGebra Classroom, where you can actually watch kids measure an angle with a protractor all in real time. We'll actually carry out that. We'll actually do that experiment like on Friday. I think it's Friday. You could actually see it from the role of teacher and student. And if you see what GeoGebra posts on Twitter lately, a lot of things they retweet, you'll find a lot of cool things that you can use and you don't need tech expertise for. You look at the site, you get overwhelmed, don't, okay? Because it is very manageable, it's very doable, but we're gonna go a tiny bit, baby step at a time, okay? Yeah.
Excellent. I think it's important for people, especially people in the United States, to know that GeoGebra is a massive presence worldwide. There are 100 million users around the world, right? And that means when you're in that resource page and you're looking at what people are producing, you're going to automatically be internationalizing your own work. You're going to be connecting to a very large global community of math teachers, and
that's really hard to survive this. Like, how do I go remote tomorrow? You don't. We go remote tomorrow. You got to get a group, a community, people that what are you using? Who's got an idea? What are you sharing? Without that, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
No, totally. And again, I see a lot of people, the advice I see on Twitter is find one or two things, just like quality versus quantity. Just learn one new things, just like, that thing, for some of you, it could be GeoGebra. It's got a lot of great things to offer. I'm excited to share with you and Alice and those that can join. Chris, when you can join the days you can.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
The next couple of days. Thanks.
Absolutely.
That'll be me for the next 2 days, I think, for
yeah,
sure.
Because Alice is, yep. Yeah, so
Alice
Chris will
will
be in the hot seat with me Thursday, Friday, I think. And today's Wednesday, right? And then, yeah, we're yeah, I lose track of my days, but that's okay. So
such is the time of man.
Hey.
All right. Well.
All right. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back here at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific tomorrow for just a half hour. So start playing in GeoGebra, start exploring, and join the Facebook group. So have a great day.
Bye all.
Later.